Hello, today we're going to take a look at creating folders with Python in OS X. So I'm going to open up the Finder here, and now I'm going to go to Documents. Documents is a good place to save your stuff on a Mac because you know where everything is. And inside of Documents, in order to show you how to do this, we're going to create a new folder. Now what we're going to do here is, first let's name the folder. Also, when you're doing this, be sure you put the names with no spaces, and never forget that OS X is case sensitive, unlike Windows. So I'm going to put a name in here. Now, let's say you had a group of students and you wanted to create a folder for each student. Now, the old-fashioned way to do it, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you here, is to simply go up, and by using one of your menus or option bars, you're going to create a new folder. In this case, I'm doing a right-click, new folder, and it will create a new folder here in a second. And this is okay if you don't mind going down a big list of all your students and putting in their information in here. But a better, quicker way to do it is creating all the multiple folders at once. And there's a number of ways to do this, but the way I'm going to show you today is built into OS X, and it's by using a program called Python. Okay, first of all, let's delete these two off because we don't really need them. So we're going to move those to the trash. Now I'm going to click on the area where in Class 6 I wanted to create all the folders. Now the application I'm going to use to create the list of the folders I need is an application that's been in Apple operating systems for a long time now, and it is TextEdit. So we'll fire that up. Now when it comes to putting in the names you want to name your folders, the best way to do this is be sure that you don't put in any spaces. Be sure that you also don't have a lot of upper lower case because it is case sensitive. Also, be sure your preferences are set to plain text. I've noticed in many installations it's set to rich text, so make sure it's in plain text. Then you can either paste in the names that you get from another program like Microsoft Excel, that you get from one of your classroom management programs that you've downloaded. Okay, in this example though, I'm going to quickly type in a list of names here. Once again, pasting is probably the way you're going to do this most often. Now we're going to save this document. It's very important we're careful about the way we save it. Notice that I come in here to my browse window. I want to be sure the paths are all the same so I don't have to worry about paths. So I'm going to make sure it's in there. Also notice how I can click on that little button to bring the browse window open and closed. Now I'm going to choose the 6th grade folder. I'm going to come down and make sure that we have Unicode UTF-8 is what works with this particular script. Also I'll put the script pasted in the description of this video, and that way you can just copy and paste it without having to look up the syntax for it or remembering it or anything like that, because it's a rather long script, as you're going to see. Also, be sure to put that txt on the end because Python does need that in order to recognize the file. Now we're going to make sure it's UTF-8. You can make sure that's checked if it's not, but just always be sure to put the txt even if it is. Now we're going to save it. I'm going to close out of my text edit. And I'm looking at the Finder now, and you'll notice there's our text file that it's going to get the names from our folders from. Okay. Now, like I said, if you know the script, you can type it in, but a quick way to do it is just by cutting and pasting. Here I have the script in a text file on my desktop, and I'm going to make that a little bit longer there. And once again, I'll paste the script into the bottom of the video as well, so you can just copy and paste it without having to look up the Python syntax and all. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a program. I'm going to come down into my utilities, and in my utilities I'm going to come down here and select terminal. The terminal or the command prompt, and it comes up, and it's a good idea to learn some Unix and Linux code and commands when it comes to working with OS X, because it is basically running on top of it. Notice, for instance, CD to change the directories. I'm going to change it from the root to my documents folder. I simply type in CD documents, just like in Windows. If you're used to the command prompt there, or in the older versions of Microsoft's DOS operating systems. Okay, now I'm going to double check my path there, and I'm going to change it to my 6th grade folder, my 6th grade class folder in Documents, once again by using the CD command. And I'm going to adjust my windows there so that I can see everything and make sure it's right. Remember, everything is case sensitive, which is different from Windows. Now I can tell by looking at it that I'm in the correct directory, and I don't have to worry about putting paths or anything in my Python statement. Okay, I'm going to go back to my statement here, and notice I'm going to copy it. And once again, I'm going to bring this up so I can see it while I'm editing the line. I simply paste it in. And then I'm going to edit our text file, which says testfolders.txt. I'm going to change that to 6th grade 2011txt. So 6th grade 2011txt, which is the one where it comes from. And you could actually cut and paste the file name even if you wanted to. Here I'm just typing it in. You could do it either way. So I type in the name of the file, where my names are located, and notice right now there are no folders underneath the text file there in our folder. So I type that in, and then I'm going to hit enter. And when I go to my Finder now, ta-da, there they are. There are all the folders created with the names. And once again, you can go in and you can actually open and close these. You can add things to it, retrieve things, retrieve documents from different places. And if you get really fancy, you can even put this Python code into Apple script and make your own scripts to use, like at the beginning of the year and the end of the year, for copying and creating all of these various folders when it comes to organizing files that you retrieve from your class. Once again, this is a good way to do it aside from using some type of online thing where the kids have to upload it. It's good to be able to organize your files because you can make really large video files and things like that from this. So I hope you enjoyed it, and please have a good time and check it out.